Hey, Sydney. Blessings from Denver. I hope that this message gets to you in the most highest vibration. I'm still working out my program here. Thanks for helping me practice also to make videos now. And so we're looking at Berlin. So for Sydney, who's born on June 25th, 1975, 6 a.m., Bridgeport, Connecticut. We have a Mercury line, and the four best lines in the world that you want to live by are Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun. Now, Mercury, you're right by Berlin with Mercury, and so Mercury is a wonderful line to connect to people. It's a good place for education. It's a good place for teaching. It's a good place where communication flows fluidly, where you can be logical. They say that it's not the place to, for the most intensive emotions. But of course, having so much Cancer and Cancerian in the chart, how can you not channel the spirit and emotions and empathy and creativity and nurturing? But by Mercury over here, it's more of a place where you can make a lot of contacts and you can expand financially, you can expand educationally, you can expand in the ways of the mind and of things of Mercury. So Mercury is about money, Mercury is about communication, Mercury is about the exchange between of any energy back and forth. And so when you look at Mercury in the sky, it's going like this, but really we see it going like this because it's like the two sides of the brain going back and forth, the two hands being able to work in harmony with that. And so being so close to this power line, Mercury, here according to astrocartography, which always seems to be strangely accurate in my experiences and the other people that I've worked with and shown this to. It says for the Mercury MC line, being in these regions helps you to become more clear and a matter of fact. This is especially helpful when you are involved in tricky negotiations or have to approach the public. Your statements become convincingly precise, focusing on the essential and not playing on emotions. So, Sydney, you have a moon in Virgo, and supposedly, here according to astrology, and supposedly I do too. So I definitely understand that. And it's ruled by Mercury. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So is Gemini. And being so close to Mercury, I feel like this can empower your inner world, and being an inner world of like being the Virgo is the natural teacher, the natural artist, the natural writer, and the natural parent. And then Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. Cancers get pleasure from feeding people with food or wisdom. And I believe that Cancer and Virgo make the best teachers of the zodiac. Sagittarius, anybody with a lot of Sagittarius in the chart, they're the natural student. And also, I feel like Aquarius right over there by Sagittarius, and that part of the year is the natural, just being that likes to collect information and learn and have conversation, learning about conversation. So I digress. Back to the paragraph here about Mercury. Your general approach favors practical application and is in tune with the needs of the community. This is an ideal place for seeking work, finding a new career, or preparing for an exam. Authors, journalists, and reporters seem to have a hotline to current information, trends, and events of the day. I feel like it's also the current trends of like the channeling of spirit that's coming through, information to be delivered in that way. Teachers, researchers, politicians, or anyone who has something to say will find an attentive and accepting audience. These places are excellent for planning or organizing long-term projects. Now, when we're talking about long-term projects, I was looking at this line as well. It goes right by Leipzig, goes right by Munich, through Munich, down in southern Germany, It also goes by Florence, Italy. What a cool place to do a little teaching tour, or maybe facilitation of learning how to connect with spirit and dive deep and get and really take in. I think Mercury is a great place to do spiritual meetings and teachings with groups of people, because it makes spirit practical, makes it makes it more understandable, it makes it more logical, it makes clear communication about it, which is healthy for it. And in this time of awakening, like, we need more healthy communication that's logical, that people can take with an open mind and have objective truth in the awakening of what we need to do, because we all need to heal and get to learn ourselves, and all the parts of ourselves have been repressed at this time, and that have yet to blossom from the cocoon, like the butterfly. You may even attempt to turn a hobby into a job or make it financially viable. Manual dexterity is fostered by this placement. Again, back to Mercury ruling Gemini and ruling also Virgo, and having that both sides, especially with the hands, and being good with your hands and being able to switch in between two modes of being, to be logical, to be practical, to be communicative, to learn, to have a deep learning, to share, to teach. Emotions or romantic desire get little focus, so there can be a tendency to experience life in a rather cool, detached manner, giving preference to the rational and the intellectually abstract. So it's not only for rational, practical communication, it is for the intellectually abstract. Because I feel like when you have Mercury, the package of information is delivered from both sides. So you also have Neptune over here by cutting through the Netherlands. Neptune's never a place that I would really suggest to live. It's more of a place to go to for spiritual retreat. You're going to do a very special silent retreat. You're going to do something to connect to the outer worlds, the other dimensions that are beyond the earth. Neptune rules like what's beyond this earth, and it rules beings like Pisces who are super psychic, which Cancers totally vibe with. I think Cancers, and as all water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces all need to get into their private zone to reset spiritually and to take those spiritual retreats and healings, because they get to, in this lifetime, channel spirit and emotion and those beyond this world things. The earth signs, keeping it practical, hard work, reaching the goals, breaking through the barriers. We've got the air signs that are ruling communication and thought, and are ruled by planets like Mercury, where intellectual concepts can be learned and known. Then we've got fire signs that have that passion, that have the transmutability of fire to change elements from one state to another, and to have that fiery passion and that spontaneity and that independence. So that lights the way. So back to Mercury, Berlin. We click on Berlin here. You can click on any city on this map, and then you get the subtle lines. But we have a major line, which really are the lines that seem to, in what I've experienced, people create destiny there. We've got 111 to the upper left corner. I think that's pretty cool. We got 100 on one side. We got 10 on the other side. We've got 10 over there. We've got 3 ones in the middle. We got 3 ones at the top. Seeing a lot of holy numbers around the city too, which is pretty sweet. Okay. So the major thing about Mercury is that Mercury places on the astrocartography is a place where we can excel in sharing, clear communication, logical understanding, and learning. So, as well as teaching. So, hope you be blessed. Take care. Much love.